if I cave in.
Welcome back, everyone. And it's getting a little warmer, and it's getting a little sunnier. So guess who I have here? I have with me Solar Sandy.
Hi, Carol.
And hi, welcome back to the show. You know what? I say this every time. You've been on a mission since I met you.
I am on a super mission.
Tell me what's going on right now.
Everybody listen up.
Listen up.
It is warm out there. It's not hot yet, but actually I'm feeling very warm because it was 50. Now it's 75 degrees out there. I hope everybody's sitting down for this. Our power bills are going to increase yet again this year. Let me say this one more time. In my phone, it's on silent.
Talk into the mic.
In my phone, it's on silent. I'll show Carol so she knows that I'm telling the truth. I just had a meeting with one of the board of directors from... Can't say the name of it's,
I'm not going to say the name of the person. All I know is it says that
in a board meeting for one of the big electric
lunch.
Right. So
that's all I saw.
So he's become a very good friend of mine, and he keeps me informed of what's going on with our power companies. These are unpublished rate increases. These are things that they don't want the public to know. SRP is not governed by APS. APS is governed by the Arizona Corporation Commission, as little good as that does us. So the power companies basically are monopolies, and they are our source of power, Carol. And we all know that we all have a power bill, and we'll continue to pay our power bill no matter how high our power bill goes. So the reason that I have been on a mission for now, it's almost 6 years now, going back almost 6 years ago when my daughter called me who needed help to pay her power bill. I myself was on a fixed income, and I couldn't afford to help my own daughter pay her electric bill. And so I, look, LED lighting and all that wasn't going to save her hardly any money, although it's a good idea. Super cooling, no, that wasn't going to work because she wasn't using all that much electricity. So I had sat down at my iPad and I was Googling lower electric costs. And what came up next was solar, which I knew nothing about. Most people don't. You have your electric bill, you pay it, that's how your electricity is generated, and you keep on paying your electric bill. So very few people know all the ins and outs of solar. I didn't, and so I sat down to look at this for my daughter as a solution. So I didn't do this back then. I was a mom and a grandma and a retired registered nurse. And I called out 3 companies. And the first 2 companies were in such an awfully big hurry, Carol, just to slap solar panels on her house and get the heck out of there and see you later kind of thing. And I said, slow down. I said,
you don't know Solar Sandy yet.
I said, slow down. I said, this is my daughter's home. This is where my daughter and my grandchildren are going to live for quite a long time. And I said, this is going to be the power source on her house. I want to make sure I understand it. I want to make sure she understands it. And I want to make sure it's done correctly. Because here's the shoes I'm in. These 2 gentlemen, I said, I want to make sure I'm helping her with a solution, not creating another problem. She already has a problem with her power bill, and that's why we're calling you. So those first 2 guys, I disqualified them because they couldn't answer my questions thoroughly or near the way I wanted them to be answered. Not for my home. This is my daughter's home and my grand. So it was even more, my grandchildren lived there. And so back in the day when I was a nurse, I'm going to give away my age here, there was no smartphones. And so when I used to go in to give medication to my patients, I had to, I didn't have to, but I did, and double check the dosage that I was administering, because if the doctor wrote the order wrong and I administered it, it was my license on the line, not the doctor's. So I had to do math the old-fashioned way, not on the smartphone, not on a calculator.
I wish I had you as a mom do my homework.
Not on a calculator. I did the old-fashioned way, pen and paper, figured it out. So I had done quite a lot of math in my day, Carol. And so after these 2 people, so-called professionals, had done their little spiel, I knew a little bit more about what they were talking about, and I said, this is a math formula. All this is a math formula. So I sat down with my pen and paper and a pad, and I started figuring out this formula. How much power had Chelsea used over the last 12 months? That was number X. And at nighttime, when the sun went down and the panels weren't producing any electricity, she was still going to be buying some electricity from the power company. But there was all these different rate plans. Which was the optimal, the best rate plan for her to be on at nighttime, so she was saving the most amount of money, maximum savings, maximum benefits. So that was the next number. Now, she only had two of my grandbabies at that time. I said, oh, what if she has another baby and it's a little hotter summer and the kids leave the doors open and she's using a little bit more electricity? I better add a little smidge more.
Smidge more.
That's where the smidge more came from. Because sure enough, she had another baby.
Nothing like a mom to take care of you.
Right. Made sure that she had all the power she needed, their daytime consumption, their nighttime consumption, and a smidge more. So I got this formula figured out and on my yellow pad of paper, and that was my very first kilowatt worksheet ever. And checked my numbers, double-checked them. I checked them probably 24 times, if not more. And the third fellow who came out, I said, now, I'd already done the reading and the research on how everything worked and fit together and the roof and all that kind of stuff. So I just had him reassure me that I was on the right page on that, and I knew more than he did at that point. And I said, now this is the formula that we're going to utilize to design the system that's going to produce my own daughter's power, PYOP, produce your own power and pay less for it. And I said, this is how we're going to do it. He says, geez, I've never done it this way. And I said, probably not, because you're not a mom and a grandma that if this isn't a solution, you can't afford to pay your own daughter's power bill. And I said, I'm going to make sure that this is a solution, not creating another problem. She's already got a problem with the power bill. So lo and behold, her panels were installed. We monitored her bills, and very happy to say my formula was a success. Hit it out of the park. She says, Mom, this is saving me even more money than you had anticipated. So back at the time, there was only 2 houses in her community that had the old solar panels for their water heaters. Now, she told a friend, and a friend told a friend, and a friend told a friend. No, remember, I didn't do this back then. I wasn't making any money doing this. I didn't do this back then. I was helping my daughter solve a problem with helping her pay a lower cost for electricity. 40 or 50 houses later, she's like, Mom, you're really good at this.
And she is really good at this. And here's what I want to say before we go to a break. Because, Solar Sandy works for you. She works for you. She's a solar advocate, solar expert. And it's not like, you work for yourself, but I work for my families. I work for my families. You're here for them to help them save money on a bill that you're paying way too much money on.
And it's going to go up.
Absolutely know that you do not open up those bills when they come in. You don't even want to look at them.
No.
But the one thing that I say every time, I think when you come on, I say this when we're together, and this is, teach them how to read their bill. That's the first thing. Just learn how to read your bill, okay? And not get electrocuted. But in any case, to learn how to read your bill, and then you'll realize what you're paying for, and you're going to want Solar Sandy to come to you and do a free, no obligation, free consultation.
How much time do we have?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. So the reason I got so excited about when you said to read bills, I was with Dana and Cindy yesterday. I didn't think, but it was yesterday, and they had chosen one of the new rate plans from last year, and they thought they were paying X for their power. This particular rate plan that they were on, there was an additional charge on their bill that most people don't understand even what it is. It's just a number on the bill. It says 10, 10.8, whatever. And I had told, before I even looked at their bills, I said, told them how much power they were using at one given point in an hour. And I said, you're using between 10 and 12. He's like, is this the number here, 10.8? I go, yeah. So I said, there's a charge for $90. It's a charge on top of a charge. You've already paid for your electricity, and now you're paying a charge for using your own power between 3 and 8 p.m. He was like, oh my gosh, Solar Sandy, you just blew us away because you called it right then and there.
Check out her website. It's AskSolarSandy.com. She does a free, no obligation, free consultation to you. Her number is 623-850-8229. AskSolarSandy.com. Let me tell you about Solar Sandy. She's changing the power industry, and what she's doing at one house at a time. And at the break, we were talking a little bit about APS and a program that they've started that you say is not the greatest idea. Listen up, everyone.
It's a really, really, really bad idea. And they're targeting our age group. I am over 55. You are over 55. Oh, maybe you're not.
No, I'm way over there.
Okay, well, we're both over 55, and they're targeting 55 and up communities. And what they're doing is they're wanting to put solar panels on your roof. APS is going to put those solar panels on your roof. They're going to give you $30 a month, and they're going to sell your own solar power back to you at their retail rate, as if they paid for it from some nuclear plant or whatever. I am going to create a solar saving proposal with my formula that you will not owe a bill to APS. So you're going to, my formula is you're going to be producing all the power that you need for your daytime consumption, your nighttime consumption, and a smidge more. During the day, you're only going to use your daytime consumption. So you're selling the excess back to APS's grid. They're buying it. And so now that gives you a monetary credit right at that time on your bill. So let's say it's the month of March and your solar panels are up on your house. The very first month, the very first day that your solar panels are turned on to your house, you're producing electricity for your nighttime electricity, and you don't owe APS anything. So and Carol has the bills right in front of me. So now the first month, this is Bev and my cash. I use them because I've got these numbers memorized, but there's lots of other people. The very first month in April, their bill was paid, and they had $352 that carried over and paid their May bill, and the $352 carried over to June. Now their June bill was completely paid for, and now they have a credit on their bill for $488. Now that $488 carried over into the hottest month of the year, which is typically July and August. They didn't owe APS one penny. APS owed them $508, and that's when Mike called me and said, "Sandy, am I reading my bill right? Do I owe them or do they owe me?" I go, "They owe you."
It says negative right there.
Exactly. So that continued on for the rest of the year, and they got money back at the end of the year. Depending on the size of your house, your roof space, the amount of power that you're utilizing, I can usually get you getting a check. I can always get you having no bills with APS. And most of the time, depending on your roof space and just making sure that you've got enough roof space for enough panels to be up there, I can get you having APS sending you a check back. Now, the other thing I want to touch on. That program, bad idea. APS, they're putting panels on your roof, selling you your own solar power back to you, and you're getting $30, and you're still paying an APS bill. So that's not a good program. If you're on the equalizer plan, I implore anybody in APS right now, I know if you're driving, don't do it right now when you're driving, but when you get home, go into your APS account. If you're on the equalizer, Dana and Cindy yesterday, when I was with them, they've been listening to me for 2 years. They said, "Sandy, we've had people knock on our door.
Stop procrastinating.
We've had people knock at our doors. We've had emails and we've had phone calls, and we don't need solar. Our bill's only $187. Then last year their bill went over $200 and something, and this year their equalizer payment was for $312. So wait for it. He's like, "Okay, that's it. I'm calling Solar Sandy." He's like, he was sitting at his house yesterday with him, and he goes, "I can't believe Solar Sandy's sitting in my house." I was humbled by that because it was very cute how he said it, and I was just tickled. I said, "It's an honor to be sitting here in your house. I love what I do and the people I do it for." So then he had all his bills for 2 years stacked neatly, all put together properly. And they're one of the very few people that still write a check rather than have authorized payment to APS. And he goes, "Sandy," he goes, "what is this settle-up amount on my bill?" He goes, "This one in December it was almost $700, and now it's like $6 something." And I go, "Oh," I said, "So you still owe APS. They didn't have you on the right 12 months divided by your total usage dollar amount divided by 12. you haven't been on that plan for 12 months, so they can't have an accurate figure. So they have given you a lower payment and let you slide for a little while. If you had that on auto pay, they would have taken that $700 right out of your account in December, because I had it happen to people with $800, $1,000, $1,200. And so I said, Cindy, Dana, sat down and calculated it out. I said, that's $700 divided, or like 700 divided by 7. That's $90 to $100 more. They should have been paying $400 to $412 actually for their equal payment to be the right amount. So, people, I'm warning you. I am imploring with you. APS is going up again in August. If you're on equal pay, if you haven't already had a settle-up amount, I guarantee you're going to have a settle amount in December of next year. And if you're on online banking and authorizing it out of your account, APS can go right in there and take it out. So what do they need to do? They need to fill out a kilowatt worksheet at asksolarsandy.com. And Carol, you're going to give my number out because I'm sort of done talking.
Her phone number, it's area code 623-850-8229. Let her come to you. Let her talk to you. Let her show you how you can save money on a bill that you're paying way too much money on. And it's the time to do it is now.
Right now.
It's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. And I just want to say this, if it's okay with you. You have no choice. But so the last time when you were here and there was a gentleman that was having an issue.
Yeah.
Here's what I love about Solar Sandy. Wow, do you really care about your people?
I do.
And this one's somebody who had heard you also on the radio, and they were having an issue, and you weren't sure whether you could, but you were going to do everything in your power, and you were going to call the company for him to help him. It showed right there how wonderful it was to have you, working on his side. Now, whatever happened with that, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm going to show you what happened.
So here's the thing,
I got
guys.
the number for the person at that company to call from one of the board of directors of one of the electric companies. Now, listen, everybody. The reason that he's having a problem, and he came on this radio show and he's been talking like on the radio for the last few weeks on our radio show, saying the reason I had a problem was I heard Solar Sandy, and then somebody knocked at our door, so my wife invited the person that knocked on the door in. And so he didn't go through me, and he's like, oh boy, should have gone through Solar Sandy. Now listen, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I don't want to say anything bad about anybody. But just like there's doctors, there's bad lawyers, there's bad plumbers, there's bad electricians. There's bad solar people out there that don't know what they're doing. I do this as a mission. I am on a mission. Solar is my mission, and I have a passion for it. I want to help as many people as I can put more of their hard-earned money in their pocket versus the electric companies. That's it. That's all. I want to educate people on why aren't you renting a house? Because the landlord could raise your rent. Why aren't you renting a car? Because the rental company can raise the rental rates when it's spring training. So why are you still renting your power from the power company when you can be producing your own power on your own roof and paying wholesale for it and putting more of your hard-earned money in your pocket? And this is not an act, Terrell. I get so angry when I hear people have turned off their power between 3 and 8 p.m. when it starts getting hot out there and their health is at risk. And that's just plain outright wrong to me. So, yeah, this is me riled up. So
let me tell you, she is serious about what she's
serious with the
talking
heart
about.
attack.
And she wants you, if you look at these bills, they're here, and I know you can see them on her website. It's asksolarsandy.com. Go up there, fill out the kilowatt worksheet, and that's how it starts. You can also call her direct. Her phone number is 623-850-8229. She's here to help everyone out there, one house at a time. She says she's going to change this power company, and I see them popping up all over the place. You have been working extremely hard. Call her, talk to her, find out how she can help. And that's all it is. It's a conversation. That number is 623-850-8229, and let you get that power, that money coming back to you from APS.
Absolutely. And SRP is, well, no, SRP's program is a little different. It's a little different formula, but I can help you get 75 to 80% off your SRP bills. This is absolutely the time to do it. There's no money to get started if you own your own home and you have good credit. instead of paying the power company now, you've now locked in your own equalizer payment that's less than the power company's, and you're saving well over half off your cost of your power. The average home in Arizona, and I'm being very, very conservative, is going to use $80,000 to $100,000 worth of power over the next 20 years, and that's with very conservative increases. That's not even being with the right numbers with APS, how they're raising the rates, and SRP raising the rates. So go and fill out that kilowatt worksheet. I want to help you save money on a bill that is going to go up again this summer.
The phone number to call is 623-850-8229. Don't wait. Let's do it now. That website is AskSolarSandy.com.